So I've been doing these weekly briefings for a couple months now, and they kind of seem to start out the same way. So we're going to change things up just a little bit this week. But I do have a couple things that are new to our agenda, so stay tuned, don't go away. I wanted to present this morning because this just goes right in line with Pastor Tony's message yesterday and just what I feel like God is saying to us as a church. And I'm not even just talking about Empowered Life Church, I am talking about us, the church. And the question is, last Sunday, I woke up and I looked over at my husband and I said, why do we go to church? Now, that's a weird question for me to ask. I've gone to church my entire life. I know the answer to that question. But last week, I woke up with this stirring in me going, it's just different now. And I need to reevaluate what God is calling me to do. So I go on YouTube, and what do I find? I find this message that says, is God calling you? And see, I know that God is calling me. I've just been trying to figure out exactly what that looks like right now with everything changing up. But it was so fascinating. This is where God just continues to confirm things in us. And then we have the message yesterday that Pastor Tony preached. And it was from Matthew 22:14. And it was the parable of the tenants. And no, it was the parable of the wedding feast. And what did she say in Matthew 22:14? For many are called, but few are chosen. And she landed her message on that. And it's incredible to just see when God is speaking to you, he's going to come from all different directions. And I think that he's coming from all different directions for many of us. Is he calling you? If he's calling you, what's he calling you to do? Parents out there, you guys are having to make some choices about education for your children. And we talked about it last week. What's he calling you to do? It might look different and very hard. But you know what? The most important thing is that you want to hear from the Lord in what he's calling you to do. Not the parent down the street, not the mom, that you talk with all the time. What's he calling you to do? And those looking for jobs and new jobs, what's he calling you to do? Those leaders in the church, what's he calling us to do? What's church going to look like? Is God calling you to open up your home because our churches might close down again? And if he is, and if you're like, but wait a second, I can't open up my home. We're in this quarantine season. We're not supposed to be around people. We're supposed to social distance. But if God is calling you, are you going to answer that call? That's the biggest question, because in the parable of the wedding feast that Pastor Tony talked about yesterday, that was the whole thing, was, are you going to answer the call? And she talked about, it's a great message, you got to listen to it, but it's important that right now we know what God is calling us to do. I'm just going to let that kind of hang out there because I think it's important. I think there's something that God is asking of all of us right now that may look very different. It may be out of our comfort zone, and that's okay. So let's continue to seek the Lord, because I want to be one of the ones that answers the call. And I want to be one of the few, and what we want is we want the many to answer the call. So I encourage you that as I go into our weekly briefing, letting you know what is up. Our seniors, they have a Bible study that they are doing on Fridays at 10 a.m. This is a conference call Bible study. And what you do is you call this number here, and then you use the access code. And that's how you can get on to our women's senior Bible study on Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Then we also have a prayer meeting that is also on a conference call. Listen, some of our people just can't get together, but they still want to pray together. This is not a prayer request line, although you could call in and do that too. But this is where if you want to pray with others, with other of our partners that just have a desire to pray for our nation, our people, our city, call in. Again, this number here, and then you use the access code, and you can join in on that Bible study. And then our Zoom life groups still going on tonight at 6 p.m., Tomorrow night, our men's life group is happening, I believe at 7 p.m. And then on Wednesdays, we have one at 7 p.m. with Pastor Blaine. So check those out as well. And then right now, we're still meeting in person. Unless something changes, we will let you know. But otherwise, we're meeting in person at 10:30 and online. So go online if you would like to come in person. We invite you to Empowered Life Church. We welcome you to join us. If you're just joining us online, let us know. Send us some prayer requests. We would love to hear from you. Even put some feedback in the messages when you watch the video. If God is calling you to do something or you're just waiting to hear from God, let us know. We would love to be in prayer for you. Have a great week, everyone. Be blessed.